Hey everybody, it's Dawit Trench, the director and writer of Kong vs. Prometheus, and I'm here with my brother, Dawit Trench, who you may know from The Tree That Refused to Fall. Yeah, that's him right there. He voiced the tree in the film. And welcome to the 1-year anniversary of King Kong vs. Prometheus, and to celebrate we're going to have a little audio commentary of the film. So, yeah, I guess to start off really quick, let's just talk about how we like King Kong. So we grew up with this film a while back in 2005 when the, Peter Jackson version was coming out, and that's when we really got into it and monster movies in general.
I went crazy over that movie when I was a kid. I always, me and my brother was always like a big gorilla geek, and when he found out about this movie, he really wanted to see it. He wanted to go to the zoo, and I ended up seeing it with my father, and I came back telling him it was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my whole life.
Yeah, and of course I saw the 1933 King Kong, which is a spectacular film, still my favorite.
Yeah.
And of course there's the whole story behind this film that goes with it in O'Brien.
After me and him, we always tend to always compete with each other who was the better monster, King Kong or Godzilla, because after we saw King Kong, we watched Godzilla movies a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now it's just like an equal thing. We kind of look at them sort of like the Batman and Superman of monster movies, just two popular characters who really started the whole genre.
Yeah, this film was definitely a big step up from my other work, for sure. I mean, obviously it's 21 minutes as compared to something like Of Cat and Creature that was like 6 minutes. But more than that, it was a project I wanted to get out of the way for a long time, and I'm personally very proud of it. Here we go. This is the toughest scene I had to ever animate for this film. It was terrible, guys. I'm telling you. This is of course the first film I did with lip syncing in it, and so it was tough to do this. Me and my friend Haley Bufka, we voiced these two characters here, and I voiced a waiter right here, and it was tough, guys. I don't even want to remember it.
The first time I watched this movie, I could tell that it was probably the toughest part making this movie, because if you look, you can see the table shaking a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes the lip syncing, the lips, the way how they move, some of it was a little off.
For sure.
Yes, indeed, Mom.
Everyone keeps saying he looks like Hitler. I never got. Of course, there's that wall in the back with all those stars. So some of them are actually celebrities from that time, like Art Carney and Mel Blanc. But of course, you got Ed Wood and Tim Burton
and King Kong.
O'Brien and King Kong. Yeah.
You mean the world to me.
Aw, sweetie, I feel the exact same way about you.
You do? Well then. Yeah.
We also kind of make fun of how nobody really catches notice that some guys proposing.
It's always a funny joke.
Yes, Brian. Yes, I will marry you.
Oh yes, yes.
Thank goodness the scene is done. Yeah, here's I personally feel pretty proud of this scene. I mean, some of the outside shots are a bit messy and wonky. Like this shot, you can see the window sills in the back and stuff like that, and off the set a little. But overall, I really like the inside shots, like this lightning. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of it.
This scene has really good atmosphere to it. You can actually feel the scene with all the light effects and such.
Right. Yeah, this is supposed to be like some solar panel thing that gains energy and brings it to the reviver. There he goes, the beast is back.
Yay. I'm so glad you're back, Kong.
Oh boy, house insurance this guy's gonna have. It is crazy. Yeah, some people got confused with that car. It was supposed to be like stomping stuff. Here he is.
Hey, Kong.
Of course, I had to use the Max Steiner score for this. Yeah, you could probably see I used his score a lot. It's my personal favorite film score. I love it. It's a stunning piece of music even to this day.
Pays a lot of homage to the original.
Right. That's what I was really trying to accomplish with this, you know. Even all the way down to having Kong carrying a blonde and stuff like that. The only thing is I didn't have him fall off a building at the end, but...
And I have to comment, the puppets they use on the monsters, they're just beautiful. They're really well detailed. I love how they look. I could also feel them. Like, I could feel like their emotions and such in this movie.
Alright, here he is. Everybody loves this character like crazy.
I remember, like, I guess because of like a lot of the dialogue he says.
First black guy's got to get it first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what is it with that? I don't know.
There was something comical I liked about putting in those fake girl screams.
Oh man, and also this guy is a bad rodent infestation.
I got the idea up actually from Wallace and Gromit, Grand Day Out.
Yeah.
It was kind of,
Right,
I liked
like
it, had a feeling of presence.
Little rats having those sunglasses on.
Yeah.
Anna!
And I don't know what it is, but I really want to use this part of the score for this part for some reason really bad. I don't know what it was exactly, but is this something that really drove me to use this particular part of the score from Max Steiner's original composition?
Anna!
We also make fun of how he doesn't really go into the apartment to check on her.
Yeah, come on, man. Get inside. The door's right there. Also, you have to be wondering, where's everybody else when there's a giant gorilla around? Except this one kid.
God. Hey, kid, are you alright? What, boy, do I look alright to you? Oh, damn.
Yeah, this isn't only the first movie I had with talking, but it was the first movie I put in some curse words. I just thought it'd, be funnier in a way.
I remember you told me your friends were so, like, they were laughing their heads off when they watched this, because it's just that it's you who's talking through that kid.
Some people got pretty confused. A friend of mine actually quoted this entire scene, which I felt pretty proud of.
I've been having my eyes on this girl for a while, you feeling me? So,
I love that reaction on his face. It always gets me.
So you see, I'm throwing rocks and stuff at this big old monkey, but
You have to wonder, how did this kid not ever hear of King Kong? Like, I mean, I know it's 1955, but if this is taking place in that same universe, Kong has to be pretty well known. It's like me not knowing about World War II.
hey, you just gonna leave a brother behind like that?
I don't know what it is, but I love the animation I did on his arm here, with his like bending down and stuff. I've always wanted to do some animation like that.
Well, your girl fine as hell. ooh, my kid.
And that line right there I actually got from a guy who chanted that out to a girl one day when I was leaving the bus, and it stuck with me.
Yeah.
What's behind the door?
The show not tell aspect of this movie is really good too. Like,
before,
follow
if you guys have seen my documentary on Kong vs. Prometheus, which I recommend you check it out, I did mention how there was another character in here, Dr. Gordon Frankenstein, who had a lot of dialogue, and he really bogged down the pacing, along with just the production length just taking forever, so I had to cut him out.
I also just want to let everybody know this scene right here is just freaking awesome.
It's actually funny. I was really kind of considering cutting this part out of the film. I mean, I always loved monster movie scenes when there's a monster attacking the city. Of course, you gotta have that, but I was just, not too proud of it at first and stuff, but people liked it. I particularly like this part right here. I did that scream, and of course, that's kind of also a little way of paying homage to O'Brien
Yeah.
and King Kong.
Yeah, a lot of the people screaming the first King Kong, they had high-pitched
Yeah, it's
voices.
that 30s style. And I felt pretty proud of that car crash too, the way I kind of shot it, point of view.
I also kind of find it funny, like how in this movie, when Kong like bashes that building at that
Right.
one part, it kind of reminds me how in King Kong versus Godzilla, like
Oh
how he did
yeah,
the same
yeah.
thing. It's kind of like that's the only
That's the only
damage he
damage
could
it does to
do.
the city. Like if
Even
it's
in
like
the
a
first
train.
King Kong, he only just tears one building
Yeah,
and
that's
just.
true. Yeah, this was actually one of the last scenes I shot with the Kong puppet, and you can kind of see at this part it is a bit more slouched. His arms are a bit more, because at first I shot all the scenes with him in the forest, including his fight with Prometheus, and if you look at those scenes, you can see he looks a lot cleaner, a lot neater and stuff like that, and then I shot him, getting Anna next, and then I shot this and the final fight, and those scenes you can kind of see the puppets kind of deteriorating a bit. But that's because there was a lot of handling. He was a bulky puppet. Alright, here it comes. Yeah. Yeah. I guess
they're
that.
tossed all the way into space.
I didn't think anyone would notice that, but a lot of people did, and it's just kind of funny to note, I guess.
Working his butt off another monster.
And there he is. He came back. Better get yourself out of there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool one. Yeah, this was the first scene I actually shot with the people models actually, and did with the lip syncing and stuff. And of course, you can kind of tell again the models look neater and stuff.
Also, like sometimes I wonder to myself, like how he got past Cog to get to the front like that.
Here it comes.
Here it comes.
And of course, I had to use that beautiful score from Fantasia, not on Bald Mountain. There he is.
It's Prometheus, a Wolverine lizard thing. That's the only time you actually hear a character say a monster's name in
actually,
this movie.
Kong's name is never said in this. I bet a lot of you noticed.
The only time you hear his name's in the credits.
Of course. Yeah, and the O'Brien artwork, Prometheus looked kind of more like a giant ape human thing, but he did describe it as being a combination of different animals, so I really wanted to kind of have those sharp teeth and the claws and the tail and stuff.
Anna, baby, get up, sweetheart. We gotta get out of here.
Brian?
Yes, Anna, it's me. It's me.
Oh, Brian!
Come on, we gotta get out of here. Come on.
Alright, it's getting on.
Round one.
It's getting on. Personally, some people have asked me stuff like, what's my favorite part I shot in this film? This is my personal favorite part. The whole forest scene, even more than the final city fight and all, and this is my favorite part. There's just something about it I really did like. Something about some tension being built, and I love that little roar he does there. And that whole first move Kong puts on him, I got that up straight from the original Kong when he does that same move to the T-Rex. It was one of his first fight moves he did.
This fight also kind of feels a bit like the T-Rex fight because they're not like in a popular area. They're just like two animals going at each other. And also, this Brian Frankenstein, he's really gonna be he's really gonna need like some house insurance. Like
no, he's gonna have to move.
Like if that was me, I was like, oh crap, my house. My God, my goodness,
it's
like
screwed.
Like
You're not
shoot.
getting that back.
Man, they're headed towards the city.
At least like the monsters got rid of the rodent infestations.
Sure.
also like at this part here, I know like it's your hands trying to get through the buildings, but I always imagine to myself like it when Kong comes over there, that's like
Yeah,
his
it's
footsteps shaking
footsteps.
everything.
Yeah, I realized that too, and I just kind of went with it. And kind of something I meant to bring up earlier, but you may notice the monsters' roars, particularly Prometheus. Prometheus is, of course, if you know anything about King Kong, that's the 76 King Kong's roar right there.
Or any old movie,
Yeah, a lot of
prehistoric
old
dinosaur
monster
roar.
roars sound like that. And then Kong's roar is, of course, the 1962 Kong. It's gotta hurt.
It's not that violent.
Well, this is the 50s now.
Not as
Everything in the 50s was too much for them.
Yeah, but compared to some of your other stuff, it's not as
Oh
violent.
yeah, for sure. Now here comes another part I'm personally proud of. A lot of people seem to like. Ooh. He's taking it.
Kong, why did you do that with the T-Rex? Shanking him.
Yeah, these parts were kind of tough to do. Like I said, you could see kind of the Kong puppet beginning. If you saw back there, his head comes off a little bit. It's kind of
Gets shorter and shorter throughout this movie.
It was a lot of heavy use. It's low budget filmmaking, guys.
Oh my god. I can't believe it. He actually killed him.
Yeah, F you.
He roars in victory. Yeah, you see, guys? Kong vs. Godzilla prequel.
Dear Lord.
And he's back. Kong's back, guys. And this final part of the fight was kind of tough to do because I was trying to really make sure like I had a lot of this particular part of the soundtrack I really wanted to use, and I had to really time things very delicately. Oh boy, here it comes. Gets him bathed in his own blood. It's gross. Ooh.
KO.
And again, if you guys have seen like the new Godzilla movie came out in 2014, this whole little part I kind of got up from it. I just couldn't think of any other way I wanted to end this.
You almost wanted to end it like King Kong versus Godzilla.
Yeah, I was originally going to end it with them both falling in the water, and this is the lowest the Kong puppet's ever been. Just look at those legs. Off to Faroe Island. Now the ultimate question. Where will Brian live? Well, thanks a lot, guys, for joining us on this little journey. Again, thanks so much for having Converse of Prometheus be so well loved. It's been 1 year, and I really enjoy all the support and love you guys have given to the project. It's just been really satisfying, and I loved working on this, and I love the reactions, and it was an experience I'll never forget. And Dawit, I'd like to thank you again for coming here and doing this with me.
Yes, I really regret not being in this movie, though, 'cause
Yeah, so that's about it, guys, and we'll see you later. Bye.
bye-bye.